bump,
Bum,
bump,
bum,
ba-da-dum,
ba-da-dum,
bump,
bum,
bump.
bum.
Bring. Not the happiest of bindies this morning. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Blue Review. Did we have lasers though? Did I just see lasers? I missed it.
No,
No,
there's
I
no
gave
way
a
it was
thumb down.
down. So
Oh, thumbs down. Okay, that's definitely not
it
lasers.
rains. Oh,
Oh,
it has a rain cloud.
Oh, wow, look at that.
I didn't know it. I didn't know it did that, but we deserve rains this morning, Marcus.
Yeah, weird. It's been kind of drizzly in the mornings, at least where I am in Los Angeles. We had a little bit of rain the other night before the game, and Pete Alonso made it rain a couple times last night at Dodger Stadium as the Mets went on for a 6-1 win. Welcome to the Blue Review, presented by LAX. I'm Marcus Grant alongside Greg Bergerman and Parker Bell. How are we feeling on this Thursday? Greg, well, we missed you yesterday, but welcome back.
Well, you had Jose Mota to take my place. I think I feel like I know more than a guy like Jose Mota, but I'm sure he did some little gems there for you.
I mean, it's not like he's ever spent any time around baseball at all in his life.
And his father is a great Dodger. There's all those things that I'm obviously much, much better at. But,
right.
Right. But no, I heard it was a great episode, and I'm really sad that I missed it, but I'm happy to be back, despite the fact that it's after a loss. I wanted to talk about the game that they won in extras and really pump my feathers a little bit about Tanner Scott, and then I wasn't able to do it because there's no reason to today.
Yeah, not quite as much. He didn't pitch yesterday. But before we dive into last night's game, I want to give a shout out to the folks at LAX, transforming the travel experience, saving guests time. For more information, you can go to flylax.com/transforminglax. I know it was 2 days ago, but if you'd like to puff your feathers a little bit about Tanner Scott, I'll give you space to do that.
Thank you. And so it's really not that I'm saying that I was like, oh yeah, Tanner Scott is the greatest or anything like that. It was that you could see that he was pitching well at times. They were going to keep putting him out there. We talked about that a lot, that they were just going to keep putting him out there. Dave isn't the type of guy to just be like, oh, okay, you had a couple bad outings in a row. That's it. You're done. You're out of here. He likes to stay patient with them. So, I went on Mason in Ireland, and Ireland was losing his mind about, you can't, I'd rather see Ryan Lotus, and I'd rather see Will Klein, and I'd rather see Kike pitch. I'm like, well, look what happened with Lotus yesterday. And it just, you just can't be that way sometimes, because this guy was brought in to be the closer. They paid him a lot of money for 4 years to be the closer, and they're going to give him the time and the runway to get back to what he was. He's just missing his spots. So if he can just build upon that, then great. But otherwise, he had been a problem, but he's going to figure it out. I really believe that. What are you laughing at, Parker?
If you didn't catch it, I'm sure those who were watching caught it. My Jose Mota name came across me, and I was like, well, at first you know more than Jose Mota. Now I'm trying to take his identity.
Now you're
he's never coming on again.
He's never coming back on the show ever again. To wrap up on Tanner Scott, obviously it was great to see what he did a couple nights ago, especially with him striking out Soto, striking out Alonso, and then getting the ground ball from Nimmo. He goes through the heart of the Mets order and put them down in order. And so that was really encouraging to see. Hopefully it's something he can build on the next time we see him in a ball game. But on to last night, as I mentioned earlier, a 6-1 win for the Mets. They've officially won the season series now. They have taken 4 of the first 6 from the Dodgers. LA trying to at least salvage something, get a split in this 4-game set this afternoon, 1:00 first pitch. Parker, we were talking about before we came up. It's as simple as the Dodgers just didn't hit last night. We could dissect a whole lot of things. I'm sure we will over the next 20 minutes, but it's really as simple as the offense just didn't show up yesterday.
Nearly got skunked. We were talking about how Greg made the bet, nearly made the bet that Pa has a homer, and it turns out he did, but not till the 9th.
And I didn't make it. So.
Right. It was a bad game. This Mets pitching staff, David Stearns over there. We talk about all the time on the Blue Review prior Pixie Dust and all the magic he's done, but he's taken a former Angel who has had some rough years, some injuries, and he's now having, I think, a 2.90 ERA in this year. You look at Chaminade last year, Luis Severino the years prior. There's guys who have struggled throughout their career who've come to the Mets and had 1-year wonders. I don't know if maybe this is just a trend with Stearns, or if maybe it's a little easier ballpark to pitch at, but they were in LA obviously yesterday, and he still performed. So it's an interesting stat to look at.
I mean, they got the best ERA in the National League, 2.83. And we've seen it from everybody. I mean, Griffin Canning last night, Greg, was fantastic. I mean, the Dodgers really never put him under stress. There might have been an inning or so where he had a little bit of traffic on the base pass, but it just seemed like they couldn't get anybody on until there was 2 outs, and then there was really just no issue at all. So uh, I know we didn't see him a lot last week. He went like 2 innings, and then the rain came, and then he had to sit down for the rest of the day. But man, Griffin Canning. I mean, the Angels wish they had that version of Griffin Canning for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He was fantastic. He looked, which the Dodgers tend to do with some pitchers, that they make him look like Cy Young candidates, and he looked really really good last night. I mean, in that outing before though, when he went only 2 2/3 and the rain came, he also he had 4 walks in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And so like he just wasn't himself in that game either. And then now this one, he looked like he was a completely different pitcher. Mm-hmm. So that was a little bit. But the thing about it, this loss, and you mentioned earlier that they lost the season series. They've now lost the season series to both of the other 2 division winners. They lost to the Mets, the series, and they've lost the Cubs, the season series. So that's just something to look at down the line when it comes down to playoff seedings. If you're in that tiebreaker scenario, you've now lost the that could put you into a wild card instead of being just right in through into the DS. So it's just something to look at and kind of pay attention to. I really feel like the Dodgers are going to just explode at some point, but it just is not happening right now, which is disappointing.
It is. The good news is they're still hanging on. They have a 1-game lead in the division, thanks to the Giants actually figuring out how to play offense for the first time in about a month. They come back from a 5-0 deficit to beat the Padres 6-5 last night. So the Padres stay 1 game back of the Dodgers. Giants 3 games back of Los Angeles. Hey, and don't look now, guys. The Rockies are getting hot.
Here
Best
they
social
come.
media team in the game. Here they come.
Here come the Rockies.
In case you guys didn't see yesterday on Twitter, the Rockies had a post that wins since June 2nd. Rockies 3, Scotty Scheffler 0, which is 100% correct.
Yep.
I know, Greg, earlier in the year you said that the Marlins are not a true major league franchise, and they got swept by the Rockies.
Yeah, I mean, if that doesn't give me the more credence to that thought, then I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So anyway, this is not meant to be Rockies talk. Yesterday, Tony Gonsolin got the start, and Parker, you and I were at Dodger Stadium last week, or a couple weeks ago, I guess, for the game against the Angels when he was not having a good time, and then he had the game against the Yankees where he gave up 4 home runs in the first 3 innings, somehow settled in to end up getting the win in that ball game. Last night, Parker, kind of the same thing. I mean, it was a bad first inning, but the rest of the way he figured things out. Maybe he just doesn't need to be a starter. Maybe he needs an opener to get him through that first inning, and then he can take over from there or something.
It's exactly what I'm seeing here in the chat. Jazz Meat saying, does Gonsolin fit as a better reliever for this team once everyone's healthy? A lot of conversation around just, hey, can the Dodgers please not allow a run in the first inning?
Right.
But Gonsolin overall, I mean, you look at it, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 runs, 6 Ks, and 90 pitches. So he's done another performance. Like, he's finding his groove as he goes along. And I just don't know why that is the case. Honestly, Greg, I mean, you might have a little better insight on this, but those first innings have been not just an issue for him. It's the Dodgers in general throughout the year. But once he finds his stuff, it's impressive. He's doing a good job of finding his spots, getting a lot of the ground balls. Whether his defense is there for him or not, that's another question, Greg.
Yeah, and I'm no Jose Mota, but in the game yesterday, yes, he's having problems. A lot of these guys have problems in the first inning because it's just kind of that happens in baseball sometimes. But this one was very squarely on the shoulders of Kike Hernandez. Yep. That was a double play ball. They were out of the inning. If he did not let that ball get through his legs, go 5-hole, that changes the entire outing for Tony Gonsolin in general. Now maybe he still gives up a home run to Polar Bear in the next at bat in next inning, but you don't know that. So if Kike gets out of that gives him a whole bunch more. He feels better about himself. He gets out of that first inning, and maybe he just grooves the whole way through. don't know. But no matter what, your offense has to hit. But that one last night was very much on Kike. Kike has not been good at the plate recently, has not been good. That was a bad play defensively. I think this is more and more reason, despite the fact that Kim wasn't great the night before, that you just kind of want to see Kim out there on a nightly basis. And he's probably not going to play today because it's against the lefty, Drew Peterson.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that Kim was not in the lineup last night. I don't know if it was Dave just trying to give him a night off, trying not to overexpose him or what have you, but he's been playing pretty consistently against right-handers. And, look, the batting average, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's not going to hit 404 all year long.
No.
I'm just throwing that out there. But he is providing something at the plate, and we know defensively he's going to be solid over there. So very surprised to not see him. Although you were saying before the show, Greg, Tommy Edman dealing with some ankle soreness right now. Not sure how serious it is, or what have you. Maybe it's just a thing where he needs a little bit of rest. But this could open the door potentially to see more Ha-Seong Kim in the lineup.
Yeah, probably, but it's also probably the reason that they put Estuary or Ruiz on the taxi squad too, because if it's for a longer time, they don't know how long it's going to be. But he didn't play yesterday. Obviously, Dave Roberts said he's down today, and hopefully it's just management because he's had problems with that right ankle, and if that is something that's going to linger, might see much more Kim and maybe a little Estuary or Ruiz in center. Hopefully though it is not, because he did feel like he was starting to come around a little bit after coming back after the long absence on the IL, but feels bad. I don't like having Tommy Edman on the Tommy Tanks needs to be in the lineup every day.
Yeah, it just getting everybody healthy too is a key. I mean, obviously you want all your guys healthy, but right now I would love to see Tommy Edman healthy, see Ha-Seong Kim in the lineup, because I think if anything else, Michael Conforto needs some time off. He needs days off at this point. He had that little stint where he was, I won't say hot, he was lukewarm for a few days here, but it's gone back to just him, not finding it at the plate, strikeouts, pop-ups. I mean, he's getting on base, Parker. He's finding definitely rain clouds for Michael Conforto this year. He is getting on base. I mean, he's walking, he's getting hit by pitches, but it just right now, Parker just feels like he just needs some time to just sit and watch and think about things, because it's just 3 at bats a night. It's not getting anything done for anybody, for him, for the Dodgers, for anybody.
Yeah, it's time to put Conforto on timeout. I mean, he has been obviously the prime suspect all year. I know that we talked with Moto yesterday a little bit just about that 6 through 9 and some of the struggles that the team has had throughout the year. And he immediately clocked Conforto as the one. So I think even those within the organization know that, hey, the clock's ticking. We need some production, and it's not coming. And maybe a phantom IL stint. It's worked for others in the past. It's worked for CT3 during struggles in the past. So we'll see what they do with Conforto. But I mean, honestly, if you're starting to have guys like Tommy Edman go down, are we going to start playing Kim in the outfield more? I mean, what is the solution if not like guys down below, like Estuary, Greg?
Yeah, so that's probably part of the reason too, to give a guy like Conforto a day off. But it's going to be the same that they're doing with Tanner Scott, the same thing that they did with Chris Taylor before he left, even though not this year, but in years past. What they did with Max Muncy, they're going to give these guys a long, long runway. They brought him in to be the everyday, or at least most day, left fielder, and they're going to give him that time. I don't agree with it as much as you guys don't agree with it, but I think that's going to be something where they just want to see him get out of it at some point, and that's maybe all it takes is just that one little adjustment click, and now all of a sudden he's just raking. I don't expect it to happen because I didn't think it was ever going to happen this season. But at some point, I mean, he should go down. But if we're just playing guys like Estuary Ruiz and Ha-Seong Kim, and you just have Miguel Rojas and Kike Hernandez, who are not supposed to be anything more than guys that just play every once in a while, that are utility guys by the very definition, that spells trouble for this team. They need Conforto to be good. They need Tommy Edman to be playing every day. They need Teo to be good. They need to have that full set of their lineup. Otherwise, it's going to cause a little bit of trouble down the line.
Yeah, you mentioned Teo, by the way. He's slumping at the moment too. since he's come back from his injury. Just he has not been able to find it at the plate. I think long term, I'm not worried about Teoscar Hernandez, but right now he's just not seeing it particularly well, and so that's something to sort of pay attention to at the moment. Enough bad news. There is some good news that there is help on the way. There have been good reports recently about Michael Kopech and Kirby Yates. Both those guys getting very close to coming back potentially this weekend. What I read this morning is that both guys could be available this weekend. It seems like Yates is much more of a certainty than Kopech is right now. I mean, Greg, at this point, like I know I was on the verge of making Kirby Yates my villain, but at this point, any help. I don't know. Did I ever declare? I think I did declare it actually.
I think it was declared.
I think it was declared. Even still, any bit of a life preserver for this bullpen is going to be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, he has the stuff to be like he's a closer type stuff. He has been good in the last year. He's been good in his career. This is one of those situations that this is one of those situations that you just need guys in the bullpen because you don't know who to go to. You can't go to Ryan Lotus of the world. Or Lotus. I don't even know how to say his name because he's not going to be up long enough to even know it. This is just a situation like you need guys like Kirby Yates back. Michael Kopech needs to come back, but he has to come back healthy. Both of them. You want them healthy later down the line. So if it takes longer, that's fine. Well, they'll stay afloat. They'll stay in that 1, 2, 3 spot and just within striking distance of the division lead. If they lose that division lead against the Padres next week, I'm not going to lose my mind. But at the same time, like they need to be healthy and they are extremely unhealthy. So if Yates comes back and pitching well, great. But Kopech needs to not be as wild as he has been. And when he needs to be right when he comes back.
Yeah, I think that's what Dave was saying, Marcus, yesterday, that they were both throwing live BP and Yates is closer, but Kopech, there's still some things that the pitching staff wants to work on him with. So he was walking all those guys, and I think that's going to be a little bit of a more drawn out return than some think. But hopefully we don't see any setbacks. Knock on wood. We need arms in this bullpen desperately.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think for the Dodgers, they're sort of treating this period, they're calling it rehab, but really it's spring training for Kopech because he didn't throw all spring as he was dealing with the shoulder issue. The wildness was a definite thing. I know he gave up runs in Oklahoma City, but I think for the team, the reports are they like the stuff. They think that he's throwing the stuff well. It's command control that they're sort of working on right now. But you made the point earlier this week, Greg, that command and control's not really ever been Michael Kopech's thing. So,
no.
So that's something to sort of pay attention to. Some other good-ish news. I know we lamented Tyler Glasnow and his general body soreness the other day,
whole body.
Oh, sorry, whole body soreness. He is downplaying it. He is saying that he feels good. In fact, I'm going to get the quote. I feel totally fine, totally normal. My shoulder is totally fine. That issue I haven't felt since I started throwing. It was fine. It really was just, I think, a precaution. I felt totally fine. I'm good to go. So
then go, bro.
Right? Just
go. Go.
I also saw a quote from him saying like something along the same lines, but it's like the team doesn't want me to play right now. That's just nonsense. Throwing the team under the bus and Dave wants to be extra careful. I'm ready to go, but they want to be extra careful. Like, well, that's because you aren't extra careful and pulling yourself out of games after an inning.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be the thing, right? Is that if we go through all of this, we go through these bullpen sessions, this rehab, I think fans are going to want to see him come back out there and, they're going to need to see this guy go 6, 7 innings, and look sharp again after all of this, after all these little hiccups here and there. I think that's going to be the part that everybody is going to want to see. But to his part, he says, I'm taking it bullpen by bullpen. I'm trying to get out there. I want to be healthy. Coming back as soon as I can in a healthy way to help the team in the playoffs is my goal. So we'll see that. any update? I haven't seen any updates on Blake Snell other than he's long tossing right now is about all I see.
I think that's all I've seen too. But if the fact is that he's long tossing, then he's getting closer because they're going to be extremely careful with him, and they also know that that he wants to be out there and he's going to do he's going to play the right way. And we saw what can happen with Snell when he comes in later in the year. Did it with the Giants last year. Just bullied through everybody. He was amazing when he came back last year. So I'm hoping that's what happens to him this year.
Yeah, hope so. It's gonna be sad though. He's not gonna be available for his bobblehead night in a couple of weeks.
Not many people are at this point.
that's
if you're not Shohei, it's a toss up, really. Even Joe Davis was Joe Davis. I think they had to reschedule.
That's right, huh? Side note, I know they did the Will Smith final out bobblehead a week or two ago, and part of me was sad because if Walker Buehler was still here, I think the Walker Buehler like arms out after the final out bobblehead would have been a cool one. But you're not going to do a bobblehead for a guy who pitches for the Red Sox.
I mean, once they trade for him,
it's possible in his 5 ERA. But why don't they do it? I think people would absolutely still love that, despite the fact that Walker Buehler's not here. You can still have a Walker Buehler bobblehead day. With him with his
him with the arms out, like that would have been an amazing bobblehead if they were able to.
That's just a World Series thing. You don't even have to be a Walker Buehler deal. I think that one would be a really hot ticket.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think, chat? Put in there. I'll put a poll. Can you still do a Walker Buehler while he's on the Red Sox?
While he's on the Red Sox.
Ball.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be cool. Look, the Will Smith bobblehead's cool and all, but like his post final out reaction was not nearly as great as Buehler's, with the arms out, the how do you like me now sort of thing. All right. Finale of the series, of not just this series, but the season series with the Mets coming up. 1:00 start out at Dodger Stadium. Landon Knack going against David Peterson. Peterson has been lights out pretty much like every other Mets starter so far this year, and he was very good against the Dodgers at the Citi Field. I almost said Shea Stadium. Like I'm stuck back in like the 90s or something. I have no idea. Right? At Citi Field was very, very good against them. Landon Knack, he's giving them some length, Greg. Last couple starts out, he's getting them at least through 6 innings, which is nice. The key, I think, for him, like every other Dodger starter, is just try to put up a 0 in the first inning, please.
Yeah, I think that's you tell it to everyone, including Yamamoto, by the way.
Right.
Everybody just put up a 0 in the first inning. But he's been really good, and it's a 1:10 start today. I like the early starts. I frees up my night.
Yeah.
It's so much easier.
Exactly. Like you can go and watch a movie. I guess if you're so inclined, you can watch game 1 of the NBA finals, even though, for all of us here, basketball season ended like a few weeks ago. So
I forgot that was happening.
Yeah, exactly. So,
there's still basketball going? Yeah.
Basketball still.
I'm going to watch it. But
against those major, between those major metropolitan cities of Oklahoma City and Indianapolis, Indiana.
The smallest of the small right now. But
David Stern never would let this happen.
No, he absolutely would not. Lakers versus Lakers. That's all he ever wanted.
He just never would have let this happen for sure.
But Marcus, I will be out there later in a few hours catching Knack, so maybe we'll see some stuff on the socials. Hey, yeah, he's gone over 5 in the last three appearances. So,
with
shout out
Beto?
Landon.
Yeah.
I will just be with a buddy, casual, so solo dolo.
There you go.
Even though Beto offered a ticket in the chat, I appreciate it, but I think Beto's mad at me because I didn't put him on the graphic for Park West bicycle.
Did you even make that graphic?
No, I never did. I get all the blame, Greg. The YouTube chat's been coming after me this week. I'll take it. I will be the one who falls on the sword for everybody.
It can't be let Parker love all the time,
No, gotta have balance.
By the way, the poll right now, it's completely 50-50. 10 votes. It's split right down the middle between yes and no on whether or not you can do a Walker Buehler bobblehead night while he is with the Red Sox.
Do you think they should?
I think they should. I think it'd be fun.
I agree.
think it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool.
Then we're the deciding factor. You could do it, Dodgers.
Yeah, go for it. You have our blessing, Dodgers. Just know you needed it. They'll do something like that.
The blue review says it's okay.
Blue review, put a stamp on the box. Blue review approved. Walker Buehler bobblehead. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow to talk about what happened in the series finale, plus get you ready for the Cardinals series over the weekend. Shout out to the folks at LAX. As always, thanks to everybody in the chat for participating. I don't think we had our Mets fan in here today. There was a Mets fan in the chat yesterday causing havoc and stirring things up a little bit. I don't think they returned today. In the meantime, stick around. Travis and DeMarco coming up here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. The lasers didn't show up. There they are.
There they go.
Going out with some lasers. For Parker Bell, for Greg Bourbon, I'm Marcus Grant. It's been the Blue Review. Back with you tomorrow, 8:30, 8:55, right here on ESPN LA's YouTube channel. We'll see you then. Later.
See ya.